Detective Hope and the Case of the Missing Cloud. The morning sun was bright as Sifat and Detective Hope, the Sniffles Jaggy, arrived at the foot of the Great Blue Mountain. Sifat adjusted her round glasses and checked her map. "We're here, Hope. The local villagers sent a letter saying their favorite cloud has vanished." Hope adjusted his brown beret and gave a confident wag of his tail. He was ready to sniff out the truth. They climbed up a winding path until they met Tenzin, a young boy wearing a colorful woven vest. Tenzin looked very worried. "Oh, detectives, our cloud Nimbus is gone," he cried. "Without him, the mountain flowers are getting too hot, and there is no shade for the baby yaks." Sifat took out her notebook to write down the clues. Hope stepped forward and gave Tenzin's shoes a polite sniff, then turned his nose to the mountain breeze. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Hope's sniffles power was tingling. He didn't smell just grass and stone. He smelled something cool, damp, and a little bit like cotton candy. He let out a sharp, happy bark and pointed his nose toward the high cliffs. "He's found a scent," Sifat cheered. They followed Hope as he scrambled over rocks and through patches of mist. Sifat used her magnifying glass to look at the ground. She found a trail of tiny, sparkling water droplets leading away from the village. "You're doing great, Hope. These droplets are as fresh as morning dew." Higher up the mountain, they found Lolly the goat. Lolly was munching on some moss near a dark opening in the rocks. To Sifat's surprise, Lolly had a very fluffy, white puff caught on one of her horns. "Excuse me, Lolly," Sifat said gently. "Have you seen a missing cloud? You seem to have a piece of one right there." Lolly bleated and shook her head, letting the cloud puff drift toward Hope. Hope jumped up and caught the puff with his nose. It felt cold and tickled his whiskers. He realized the scent was strongest inside the dark cave, right behind the goat. He gave a determined growl and stepped into the shadows, his beret nearly falling over his eyes. Sifat turned on her flashlight, casting a warm glow on the cave walls. "It's okay, Hope. I'm right behind you," she whispered. The air inside was very chilly. They walked deeper and deeper until the cave opened up into a secret, hidden grotto. There, huddled in a corner, was something large, white, and very shimmery. It was Nimbus. The cloud was much smaller than usual, and it was shivering. Sifat knelt down and looked through her round glasses. "Oh, Nimbus, why are you hiding in this dark cave?" she asked softly. The little cloud let out a tiny rumble of thunder that sounded like a sad sigh. It seemed afraid of the big, wide sky. Hope knew exactly what to do. He didn't growl or bark loudly. Instead, he wiggled his body and did a silly little dance. He rolled on his back and let out a playful yip. Nimbus the cloud watched Hope and began to glow a little brighter. It floated closer to the dog, fascinated by the spinning Shih Tzu and his bobbing brown beret. Sifat smiled. "He just needed a friend to show him it's safe outside," she said. Together, they led Nimbus out of the cave. As soon as the cloud saw the sun, it puffed up until it was giant and grand again. Tenzin cheered from the village below as the shade returned. "Another case solved by the Jaggy detectives," Sifat said, hugging Hope.